give my answer on Senator Merritt's request. And this is the way I wanted to do it. Thank everyone for showing up here. You're here because you care. I have with me to my left my daughter Jeremy, along with my brother Dwight, my sisters Teresa and Becky, my minister Stanley Hubbard, along with other ministers, family members, friends, and some folks are here that are just curious. My wife is in California visiting her mother, and my oldest daughter Cameron could not be here, she's working. I would like to thank the Lord publicly for allowing us this day and this time to come together, including the media. I have some friends out there that are in the media, believe it or not, I do. They're here with me today. We meet here today at this venue because this is my place of worship. This is my home church. This is where I feel safe. This is where I have peace. This place is where I grew up. My wife, my daughters, my family members were baptized right here in this building. My loved ones were funeralized right here in this building. This is a place of prayer, a place of biblical learning, and we do have some fun here a lot of times. Both my grandfather's names are on the cornerstone of this building. They were both officers in the leadership of this church, and they have gone on. Last week, when Senator Jim Merritt told the public that he would cross party lines to name myself as his chief of police was history in my mind. Let's be clear, I am a Democrat. At least my voting record shows that for the last 19 years. Anybody wants to challenge it. In all the years I've been on this planet, I've never heard of such a decision during a campaign where a Republican mayoral candidate chooses and then makes a public appeal to the city that he will select a Democrat for his chief of police if he wins the election.
Say it.
We're making history today. That's
Yes.
history to me.
Yes.
This press conference may take some time, and I've been told if you talk to me long enough, you're going to find out something you just didn't know. This is not about political parties. It's about the safety of the people of
Come on now, preacher. Come on.
I am honored and humbled to be thought of in such high regard. Remember this, Americans. Bipartisan efforts are made every day in this country. And that's all this is. I know that Senator Merritt has to win the election for us to take this post.
Right.
Think about the courage it took for Senator Jim Merritt to make this call before his Republican Party constituents. This effort is about the people and the safety of the people, not about a party.
That's right.
Come on. I love my city, and
Yes.
I miss the great IMPD. I miss my teammates over there at IMPD. I miss serving with them, and I feel I have a lot left to give. IMPD has great talent and great people serving daily. But in my 35 years of wearing a badge, I have never known an officer in this city to get a call to respond to a citizen in need of services, and then once he or she arrives on that run, says wait, and asks the citizen, before I start to work, are you a Democrat or Republican?
Well.
Again, this is not about a political party. It's about the safety of the people in
Not the
Indianapolis.
people. Yes, sir. Come on now.
The Indianapolis Star used the word divisive to describe me last week. I have no idea why they would call me that, but one topic that is certainly divisive is that a strong Republican chooses a Democrat for his chief of police.
That's unity.
We know this from the harsh criticism we have received in the last few days from uninformed citizens. What is not divisive, though, is to an informed person for reducing crime and slowing the murder rate.
Come on now.
So how did Senator Merritt and I meet? And here's what you didn't know. 2 local city leaders, one Democrat, one Republican, came to me and my family and asked me to meet with Senator Jim Merritt. After that first meeting, I have spoken to Senator Merritt several times about reducing violence in our city, lowering the crime rate, lowering the murder rate. On 3 occasions, I told Senator Merritt I did not want anything from him because I'm fine being the Director of Security for the Tinley Accelerated Schools. But we're here today because of Jim Merritt's announcement October 10th. During my 35-year career as a police officer, I've never received an offer for Chief of Police of this city. When Bart Peterson was mayor, he never offered me, but I was promoted to major. When Sheriff Frank Anderson led both departments for a short time, I never received that offer from Sheriff Anderson.
Call the road, doctor.
When Greg Ballard was mayor, I never received the offer to be Chief of Police of this city, but I was promoted to Deputy Chief of Investigations. And in the last 4 murderous years, I have not received an offer of any kind from Mayor Joe Hogsett. I've only received this current offer, an opportunity from Senator Jim Merritt, a Republican, with the contingency that he has to win the election.
Got to win.
In my lifetime, I've always had to do it the harder way.
Come on, preacher.
Come on.
The state that this city is in, when it comes to violence again, is not about a party winning an election,
No, sir.
but people working together
People.
to reduce violence.
Come on now.
Political parties don't save lives.
No,
people,
sir.
People do.
Come on.
Here's what you don't know. On August 20th, 2018, Mayor Hogsett and I met at his request, not mine, at his. We had a productive meeting. After this meeting, several prominent Democratic politicians met with me about the violence in our city and returning back to the IMPD in some high-ranking capacity of leadership under the leadership of Chief Brian Roach.
Okay.
I, with this group of respected politicians, submitted a proposal to the mayor's office, which included some 25 strategies and tactics that we used when I served with great people in my years as deputy chief with IMPD. We met so much without any movement or action, I told the group I'm not meeting again. I thank the leader of this group for having the faith and confidence in me to help Chief Roach and the city. All I wanted to do was help.
Talk, no walk.
Hello.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
This was more than 10 months ago with no action or movement, yet people were being killed, shot, robbed, raped every day.
My Lord.
The last time I've heard from our mayor, Joe Hogsett, was August 20th, 2018. I haven't heard from him, or seen him. In closing, if Senator Merritt is our next mayor, I will accept the position of Chief of Police of this
Yes,
city.
sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
If he does not become our next mayor, I will continue to do the work that I've enjoyed in the last 7.5 years of being a director of security for Tinley Accelerated Schools, protecting and mentoring our children. Again, it's not about a political party, it's about the safety of the people of Indianapolis. I love and care about my city, and Senator Jim Merritt has shown me the same. Senator Merritt is the only person to publicly offer to me the chief's position if he wins the election. We have done the work before and we'll do the work again.
That's right.
No one can dispute our numbers. I have great people working with me. Our numbers. No one can dispute our numbers in 2008, in 2009, in 2010, in 2011.
Say it.
Come on.
Where in 2010 we had the highest clearance rate of murders in the nation.
In the
For a city
nation.
our size or larger.
My Lord.
And I will never tell the public I'm frustrated with crime, don't know what to do. I'll never tell people of the city that people aren't talking to me and communicating with me. Victims and victims' families need to hear and be encouraged that you are grinding, pounding for the truth and the suspects.
That's right. That's right.
A message to all IMPD officers and the great support staff that carry the department. I've talked with Senator Merritt about ways to reduce your report load so that you can become productive policemen and not spend hours during your shift trying to find a safe parking space to type your reports.
My Lord.
My Lord.
I will make sure that you have the proper tools and training to do your job professionally. I'll make sure that I support you and that you get due process and that I not prejudge you in case you get in a jam. And believe me, I know about being prejudged when you get in a jam. I say to the citizens of Indianapolis, you pay the salary of those leaders to keep you safe.
That's right.
Don't let the people who have no clue on violence dictate your vote.
Come on.
Come on.
Vote on what is happening
That's right.
and the corrective measures that will be taken in your immediate space.
Yes.
We feel that we've been qualified for the last 10 years to lead the IMPD.
At least.
There are no puppet strings on my back.
Come on
No
now.
me, I'm my own man.
Come on now.
There you go.
Come on.
My leadership style consists of I'm the last officer and all other officers are first. And that's how I treat them. I will not be outworked. Check my record. I'll treat an officer right, which is a higher degree than fair. If you ask me a question and you matter to me and it's not confidential, you'll get the unfiltered truth. And I can make a decision in tough, hot times.
Come on.
This is not a partisan issue. I'm so concerned about the increase of violent crimes and the murder rate in our city that I'm willing to take the ignorant blowback from the members of my own party
Yeah.
who have done this before to me
That's true.
when I ran for sheriff.
Ignorant blowback. Come on,
It's not
preacher.
about politics.
No,
It's about
sir.
saving lives,
Yes.
reducing crime
Yes.
in the city of Indianapolis. We are not afraid to go into the bowels, guts, and trenches of the city of Indianapolis for answers on questions about crime. In the days ahead, and these are my words, media, there might be some slickery and some trickery. I'm used to that.
Okay.
I used the same platform that I speak on today when I ran for sheriff. But the sheriff's office couldn't even do more to reduce violence in our city than just be jailers and bailiffs. I'll go to statistics real quick, and anybody can challenge them off of an IMPD PowerPoint. Anybody can challenge them. You want to. An IMPD PowerPoint created well after I retired. In 2008, when I was a major in investigations, we had an 80.17% clearance rate with 114 murders.
My Lord.
In 2009, we had a 70.59% clearance rate with 99 murders. In 2010, we had an 81.82% clearance rate that led the nation with 93 murders. And in 2011, we had a 71.30% clearance rate with 96 murders.
Come on.
Those are my numbers,
Your numbers.
Yeah.
working with great people
Yes.
in the years that I was in leadership with IMPD. No one can dispute those numbers.
No, sir.
In 2015, 16, 17, and 18, there have been 610 people murdered in this city. I didn't mention 19. We don't know what that final number is yet. Give me time, media. Give me time. I appreciate you being here.
Take your time, Doctor.
Penny Davis. These are people that have helped me along the way in my career that had badges before me. These are people that helped me along the way in my career that had badges before me. I came on in '84. Penny Davis, Pat Young, Pat Holman, George Bornstein, Darrell Pierce, Charles Martin, Stan Anderson, Tony Lorenzano, Major Richard Crenshaw, Spencer Moore, Joanne Moore, Chris Dalkey, Paul Linay, Mike Spears, Frank Anderson, John Layton, Sam Drake, Bill Reardon, Danny Overly,
Call the
Mike
roll.
Bosley, Jim Reno, Alonzo Watford, Mark Decker, Curtis Hanks, Bobby Allen, Deborah Sanders, Mike O'Connor, Captain Dorsey, Mike Crook, Louis Chris, Don Chris, Bob Turner, John Alford, Pam Stratton, Cheryl Parham, George Grant, David Phillips, Monica Smiley, Joe Lackey, Norm Matthews, Roy Stephen West, Leetta White, Mike McClary, Doug Scott, Phil Scroggum, Doug Carter, the Superintendent of State Police, Mike McClary, John Conley, Tim Horty, and Joe McAtee. All of these people helped me along the way in my career.
All right.
That has badges. And there's probably 10 more I just couldn't remember.
Eh,
And I can't tell you what party they serve in,
okay.
because we've always worked together. But this time, I'll open it up for questions.
Benjamin, what's your reaction to the fact that some people
That's
say...
peace, man. Butterfly flying around. That's peace.
What's your reaction to the fact that some are saying that this is Merritt's plan to try to get the black vote, and if that's the case, are you okay with that?
Yes.
I want the entire county to be educated on who I am and what we did in past years. I'm no fool, and I know that some of our voters will vote Merritt's way because I stand here. But after that announcement, and you know me, Steve, I asked him hard questions about, am I the best qualified candidate to be your chief, or do you need me for your votes? And he eloquently described my career. He knew more about me than I ever thought that he knew. He said he'd spoken to 30 different police officers that he looked at for police chief, 30 candidates. And he said my name always came up. And I'll be real with you. He said some of them don't like you, some of them really love you, but all of them respect you. And I've always wanted to do this job, and you know that, from past years. And you've covered me from way back when. So this is something I want to do, but it's in God's hands.
That's right.
So, Bill, you mentioned you came up with a list of 25 strategies and tactics that when you offered it, you never got any feedback on. Can you give us a handful of those you think that you'd be able to put into effect the first week that you could start to see a turnaround?
And I knew that question would come right out of this group here. The great Bill Belichick, and even our great head coach here with the Indianapolis coach, Frank Reich, they would never give their playbook out.
Come on now.
Everybody's watching this, including criminals. So, Russ, you don't have a badge, you don't get it.
No, but you are speaking to the people of the community, and you are asking the people of the community to cast their votes for Merritt because they're going to put faith in you. So the people in the community, this community, Blackburn Terrace over there, communities up here on Browse where people are suffering because they're watching crime in their neighborhoods. What is Bill Benjamin going to bring to the table that's going to be able to say to those folks, people up on Browse, if I get in here, we're going to be able to make your community safer and protect your families?
My record shows
Yes, sir.
that we have solved crimes very quickly, and it's really quite simple. If you catch a murderer very quickly, there's no space for retaliation because the great IMPD has it. So it reduces retaliation against family members, against the killer, against the stabber, against the rapist, because the IMPD has that person. And that's the nugget that you can get from my playbook.
Malcolm X says,
We have solved crimes very quickly in the 4 years that I was up there.
Malcolm X says history is best qualified to reward our research. Can we tell what your future is going to be by what your history has been?
I have never changed. I've been the same guy. I'm still working on some weaknesses that I have through my minister and this church. But know this, that nobody will outwork me, and a lot of the old veteran media folks that are out there, they know that. They've seen me stand on the corner at Steak and Shake on Maryland Street at Black Expo when I have sent all officers home and it's 4:16 a.m. and asked the question, why are you still here? Because I'm the last one working. I had to make sure my officers did their job, and I'm still here. And that's what you're going to get.
What have you
Thank
seen from the Merritt Public Safety Plan that inspires you, gives you some insight, that you lock in on it, you've read his public safety plan and go, this guy gets it?
Merritt's camp understands what has taken place here in the last 5 or 6 years. It matched my platform when I ran for sheriff. And I haven't seen one word, nor one commercial from our current sitting mayor about reducing violence in our city. The commercial that people are talking about and buzzing about in this city, and I know my mayor's name. His name is Joe Hogsett. You got one commercial where some ladies calling him Hogstead. Who is that?
Yeah.
Tell him.
His plan matches my platform and really matches my career.
One of the things that Merritt got attention about was trying to bring back the stop and frisk policy, which obviously impacts the black community more so than any other community. What is your stance on that?
Understand this, that I'm not into harassing anyone.
Thank you.
I'm not into stopping anyone that doesn't need to be stopped.
Thank you.
That's how I've always been in my career. And the last question that I asked Jim Merritt last night was, if or when you win, if I'm your chief, I must be able to pick my staff, and I must be able to lead my staff. And so that's my thought process in there. There is no complaint anywhere in my career package that said I unlawfully stopped anyone to frisk them just to harass them. If I stopped you, it was a reason for that and I had probable cause to do it, and my officers will do the same.
A couple weeks ago, Jim Merritt endorsed Ryan Mears when he was the interim prosecutor on his way to becoming the prosecutor. One of the first things Ryan Mears said a week into office is, I'm not going to prosecute minor marijuana, basically misdemeanors or low felonies anymore, less than an ounce. I think it gets in the way of the criminal justice system. I think it gets in the way of the community trusting their police department. He said they can still make those arrests if they want. Just know that when it gets to our desk, chances are we're not going to prosecute those anymore. Have you and Merritt talked about that? Is there any distance between you and Merritt? Because Merritt supported Mears when he made that announcement.
We're not in disagreement at all. I support Ryan Mears, a 12-year veteran in the prosecutor's office that has tried cases, that understands the law. I will say this though, if I'm blessed enough to be the chief of police of this city, we're still going to stop you if you have marijuana on you. It may not be prosecuted, you may not be charged with it, but that stopping charge is on the books legally. And so we'll use that as a tool to dig further into who you are or what you're doing. In my career, I've stopped many a person with an ounce of marijuana or less than an ounce of marijuana on them that led to felony arrests. And that's what the officers want to do. That's what we're going to do under my leadership.
Should we expect to see you out campaigning for Merritt over the next few weeks?
You can expect to see me at Tinley Accelerated School, protecting and mentoring the children. And by the way, we got an undefeated football team. I got to mention that. Play Manual Friday. Be there.
Bill, while your statistics show your clearance rate when you were the head of investigations, to get a clearance rate, first you've got to have a murder occur. The murder statistic has climbed over the last few years. I don't think anybody argues with your clearance rate when you ran that branch. What can be done to bring down the murder rate as opposed to getting there after it's happened?
And that's beautiful. And I mentioned that in my presentation here today, that the officers are burdened with typing all of their reports. So if you get an East District officer that generates 7 reports during a shift, and I used to generate those reports when I was a patrolman, he or she has to find somewhere safe to park, which takes them out of service to get those reports done and in a timely fashion for whatever the crime or the incident is. Actually, if you really look at it, half our department, half the time, are looking for drop-down boxes to put in the right person's name or the right subject matter, and that's happening every day on all shifts at all times. When we were patrolmen years ago, we had a dictation system where I could call in a report and be back on the street in 3 minutes. We're going to work on that to free them up. You'll have more police. You've got the police that you have, but you'll have more police doing productive work, active work, instead of sitting somewhere safe in a safe parking lot trying to knock these reports out. They hate it.
Do police prevent murders or do they solve them? Is murders a police solution or a political solution?
For me, and it's not about politics, it's everybody's solution. Everybody that lives in Marion County has a home or has invested something in Marion County. You must understand, you've got to drive these streets, you've got to interact with folks, you've got to go through neighborhoods, you've got to interact with your business people that you deal with. It is my belief, and I don't know the statistic on this, I don't know how many crimes I have stopped or prevented just because of my visibility. That slows down crime when a criminal knows that there's a policeman nearby ready to work and work professionally. So it's really everybody's problem.
What about your the sheriff's race and your experience running for sheriff has prepared you for today's moment? This announcement?
You know, I probably felt brokenhearted for about 2 hours.
2 hours.
And then I knew I had to get back to work.
Yes.
With Tinley and protecting the kids and mentoring the kids over there. And I love my job over there. But what I did find out, if any of you ever run for office, you will find out who has your back.
Yeah.
Who was the frauds in the city.
Correct.
Who never cared about you but were actors and actresses. What a lesson I learned in that. And sadly, I lost some friends over that election and did nothing to them but ask them for help and never received it. You can't give me help to help the city, help the county, help the sheriff's department, help those deputies, help those officers. I don't need to deal with you anymore. That's what I've learned.
Are there any? I know that you mentioned that the police chief position is not a political. Your decision isn't meant to be political. But is there anything about Senator Merritt's background, his past votes, anything in office that concerns you or that you've had to talk about with your friends and family?
You know, I live in the time and now, and maybe if the Lord continues to bless me, I got 20 more Christmases to live.
At least.
I like what the platform is today. I'm not thinking about past voting records or any of that thing. If he thinks that I'm the person to help reduce crime, slow the murder rate, and we know biblically that murder's been occurring in man's life since man was here. But it can be slowed down and reduced. Thank you all.
Thank you for your time.
For coming. And November 5th is my mother's birthday. That'd be a wonderful present.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, Jesus.
To wake up and serve the city.
Amen.
Wake up and serve the city.
Amen.
Thank you all.
Before you go, Pastor Jackson, the fervent prayer, would like to say a few words.
Amen.
Morning.
Morning.
I want to encourage people to really take heart and to support Bill Benjamin, Officer Bill Benjamin. Over a year or so ago, I asked Joe Hogsett to make a chief change so we could see change in our community with regard to violent crime. And I don't think that Officer Benjamin is going to come and try and fix the problem or figure out a way to fix the problem. He already has a record of having fixed the problem.
That's right.
Yes.
And it's cliche in America to say it's a no-brainer. And this one is a no-brainer for our football team, our basketball team, for major corporations in our city. If you're losing, you go and you get leadership who can get you down the field
That's right.
and make a touchdown. And Bill Benjamin has appealed to Mayor Hogsett. Leaders in the city have appealed to Mayor Hogsett to put him on the public safety team. If you don't make him chief, put him on the team. And Mayor Hogsett has refused to do that.
Refused.
And that's a question of not just his leadership, but his moral leadership.
Wow.
When you're the only mayor in the history of the city of Indianapolis since the late 1890s, the only mayor in the history of this city, the only mayor to have record homicides.
Record.
Why wouldn't you put someone who is the best in the nation,
Good question.
one of the best in the nation? And you might remember homicides were trending downward, under 100. That was because Officer Bill Benjamin, at that time Deputy Chief of Investigation, was helping to make that happen with the tactics and the strategies that they had with public safety. And I would say, finally, there are 3 areas that a mayor has to be successful in. Economic development. The oligarchs have that under control.
I got
Then
it.
you have infrastructure, and you have public safety. And this mayor ran on public safety. And when you have public safety resources within arm's length in the city, why wouldn't you use it? So a lot of people say it's not political, but it is. Our mayor says that he doesn't care what political party you're in. You don't see that commercial anymore. Because in my opinion, he was forced to take it off. If he doesn't care what party you're in, why not put an Officer Bill Benjamin at the helm of public safety?
Good question.
The lives that are being lost, you're not going to get those back. And it takes leadership. It takes a mayor, it takes a leader to make the tough choice to find somebody who can get the job done. And Bill Benjamin can get the job done.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you for your time coming out and sharing with us. As alluded to before, a lot of murders in the city are reactions to other murders. So by stopping the first layer, begin the second layer. Thank you for your time.